Hey guys, so Mike 2 from Orchard Trailers here. Today I'm going to film the walkthrough for a Rockwood Mini Lite 2109S. This is a 2020 model. Starting up here in the front. Above the bed we're going to have cabinets that go all the way through. On each side we're going to have hanging space. Wardrobe bar in here, you can hang your clothes up. Down here we're going to have nightstands. On this side of the bed, we're going to have a 110 outlet, we're going to have two USBs and a 12 volt charging outlet. If we move the bed back a little bit, there is an outlet on that side to plug in the heated mattress. So the heated mattress actually has a nodule up top here. So in the head of the bed, there's a round nodule. There's a cord I'll get to a little bit later in this walkthrough to plug in. That's going to plug into that 110 outlet there, and it's going to heat up this mattress. Now, from what I've been told with these campers, is that heated mattress takes about 30 to 45 minutes to fully heat up. So you want to turn that on a little bit before you go to bed to make sure that you get the heat you want. And it's adjustable from 0 to 6. Again, I'll go over that when we get into the actual module. Alright, moving down here, the bed lifts up. We have storage underneath here, and then we have 3 drawers. The windows on each side open up. Curtain goes up. This window twists out. Alright, they'll open up for you. Alright, these are frameless bonded windows, so what that means for you is that they cover the gasket on the outside, so your gasket isn't exposed to the sun and the elements. It doesn't dry rot as quickly. It also opens up about this far, so you can leave the window open basically when it's raining outside, and you won't get wet in here, unless it's really, really gusty, but that's a different story. Just above the bed we've got a cap. This cap has a hand crank on it. It does not have a cover over the exterior cap. That one you're going to want to make sure you don't leave open. Alright, then you'll end up getting wet in here, and that's not good for campers at all. So make sure you close that one before you leave. Alright. We have speakers up here over my head. We have a few a little bit farther back you can't see with the camera angle. We also have air conditioning vents here. So these vents are directional. They are channeled through the foam block insulation of the roof, so you will see some styrofoam fly around in here from time to time. That's pretty normal. There is an arrow on one of these. So one side has an arrow, and it should be a gentle push. If you try pushing on the other side, it's going to be a little bit resistant. Don't push on that one. You're going to break the tabs. You're going to push it out of its track. Just push here. And these are also directional. You can turn those around. As you can see, the styrofoam. Your curtains on each side. They Velcro. And they come across to the middle. And they'll Velcro together to give you a little bit of privacy up here in the bedroom. Moving back just a little bit farther, your antenna is up top here. So this is a twist knob for your antenna. That antenna is fixed to the roof of the camper. It doesn't go up and down anymore like the traditionals. It actually turns to fine-tune the signal. So it's a fixed unit that the head swivels on. It does have a sign on here that says rotate for travel. So right now we're in the down position or travel position, facing forward. When you're ready to look for TV signal, you'll just want to turn it and adjust it until that TV clears up for you. And then again, remember to rotate it for travel before you leave. Over here on the slide, we're going to have cup holders for our couch, one on each end. These cabinet doors actually open down, and that goes all the way through. Our window over here is a little different than the others. This is actually an emergency exit window. So if you ever get into a situation where you can't get over to the door over there, you're going to want to get out of this window here. So the way you do that, this is tabbed under. Just use your thumb to pop it out. This pushes out, and you want to grab the little red triangle here, pull the screen off, and then push this window out and get out of here. All right, the red handle on this arm actually doubles as a window hold. So it's notched on the back. That'll hold that window open, give you a little more airflow through here. When you're done, pull it out. They usually get hung up on this rivet coming through. Just wiggle it, snap it back into place. All right, above that window, we have two lights. They are push lights, and they will rotate. You can move them around for reading. Behind this couch, there is a little bit of storage for this table over here. When you fold up the table, that goes down there. That's where it travels. There's also an access door from outside into that space if you want to put this in the pass-through outside and use that space for a little bit of storage. And this couch is a jackknife. It just lays flat like this. All right. When you're ready to put it up, I always suggest the hip method. Get your hip up against the side of it, grab the back of it, and roll it around that pivot point right there. It gets a little stuck sometimes. Drop that down. Another cup holder on this end. Behind me, we have our thermostat and we have a 110 outlet. I'm going to bring you a little bit closer so you can see that thermostat and show you how it works. So the thermostat works for your air conditioner, your fan, your heat, all in one. So our top slide here is going to be for the temperature you want to choose. Below that, we're going to have cool for air conditioning. Again, set your temperature. Fan, and then you're going to control over here. Auto, low and high. It'll shut off when you get to your desired temperature. And then on, low and high, will not shut off until you shut it off. Off turns everything off. And heat, that runs your furnace. And your furnace is gas only, so you have to have your bottles open and have some propane in here for that. For this shot, I've put the table back up so you can see what it looks like. This table is nice and lightweight. The legs fold down, and there's a strap to hold them together. That can, again, store behind the couch or out in the pass-through storage area. The kitchen side. We have a microwave up top here. The microwave is very straightforward. There's not too many crazy features to it. Has a couple presets. There's also a glass rotating dish inside that you'll want to be careful of. If you're going on long trips, you may want to take that out of here. It'll tend to bounce and it may break. Below the microwave, we have a touch light. It turns on and off with a push of a button. We have a traditional mini blind over here. You don't want to have a cloth pleated shade in the kitchen because of the flame and the water. So they put a traditional blind in here. We do have the twist to open it. We have the cord to pull it up and down. There are also tabs in the bottom of the curtain that will pin it so it won't swing on you while you're going down the road. All right, you can leave it down like this pinned, or you can pull it up and travel that way. Totally up to you. Our sink has a drying rack and prep space. So these can be a cutting board or whatever you need just to get ready. Give you a little extra room. Below that, we have a place to put your sponges. We have a drawer with a silverware tray in it. And then we have another big drawer down bottom. Moving over here, we've got some really nice cabinet space. Below that, we've got your range hood. So your range hood will actually vent outside. We have a light here, and we have a fan here. So that will vent outside. When we get outside, I'll show you where that is and how to open it. All right, moving down below that, we have in the back of the stove, we have a couple slots back there. They're actually for knives, so your big kitchen knives can go there, and your kitchen block is not taking up a huge space on your countertop. So they just go right in there. When you're ready to use the stove, this is prep space first and foremost. Then this flips back, this opens up, and then we're ready to use our stove. So these stoves have an igniter switch, and then of course 3 burners and an oven. This newer stove here has an igniter built in for the oven finally, so you can actually light that without having to hang upside down and get the lighter in there. With these, I don't have any propane, so this isn't going to work, but we're going to turn it to light. Going to hit the button for all your burners. Alright, when you're ready to do the oven, I found a cool trick. If you open this oven about 45 degrees, you can actually see the element underneath this tray, and you don't have to hang upside down to find it. So basically, we're going to turn this oven button on, we're going to hold it in, and we're going to ignite. Eventually, the gas is going to flow through. You're going to see that pilot light. Hold this button for another 5 to 10 seconds after it lights, just to get that thermocouple warmed up, and then you can turn the dial and fire up the oven. It is marked around here with temperatures. Below that is a drawer for pots and pans. And over here we're going to have 2 more drawers and your cold air return. At the edge of the counter we have a countertop extender. This folds down and snaps into place for travel. And it picks back up. If you pick it up high, the legs will lock into place here. When you want to put it down, just pick up a little bit, push those in, let it go down. Down below that we have your heater duct. Up here we have your TV. So this TV is on a mount and it will swing around. Alright. Behind the TV we have power, we have our antenna in, we have our satellite in. So this is hooked up to your antenna on the coax. There is a little black button right next to this TV coax. If you push that in, you'll see a little green light come on right here. That means you're running on your antenna. If you let the button out, that switches it over to whatever your other source may be. This TV is also on a V mount. So if you wiggle this TV up and out, it'll come right off of that mount. There is the same mount on the outside of the trailer. That will allow you to take it right outside. Alright, there's also on the back of this is a little block here, and there's a little claw here. So when you're traveling with this TV, you want to snap it into place so it won't come off the wall or won't fly around while you're traveling. That on. Alright. Volumes here. We're going to have presets across here. They just hold, just like your car would. We have speaker zones. We have 1 and 2. 3 doesn't apply here. 1 is inside, 2 is outside. Alright, this is a CD and DVD player. It is not a Blu-ray player. And it is Bluetooth capable. So with this, if we go to mode, first thing is going to be Bluetooth no link. So what you want to do is you want to go in here and you want to find IRV, probably 32 or 33 for this one. And that's going to just hook up to your Bluetooth. Once you've hooked up to the Bluetooth, this is going to say Bluetooth link, and you're going to know you're connected. After that, you can play your Pandora, you can play Amazon Music or Spotify, whatever you got right through this radio. Alright, moving through TV audio. A lot of times TV audio doesn't work in these. Lately it's been TV audio 2 that works. Front audio is going to be something plugged into the front. Front HDMI is going to be this HDMI here. If you have a, say, a Blu-ray player, you want to add in a gaming console, something like that. TV audio 2 is typically where the TV audio comes through here. You may want to turn the volume down on the TV so you don't get that echo between the two. And then we're back to the radio. Alright, AM, FM. These things have 2 AMs and 3 FMs, which is really great for if you're going to different campsites throughout the season. You can preset for one, preset for another, preset for another. You don't have to change every time you go to a different campsite. Alright, your clock. So we're going to hold the clock button. You can see the 12 flash here. I'm going to rotate it to whatever time I want. Push this button in. It's going to change the minutes. I'll rotate that to what I want. Hit clock and we're all done. As you're walking through the camper, if you don't have a phone in your hand or something like that, you need to know what time it is, you just hit that button and it'll switch over and tell you what time it is. And the last one says BT. So BT actually, this works as a dimmer. So we hold this in. It's going to dim our radio. We hold it again, it'll dim it one more time. We hold it one more time, that's going to bring us back up to full brightness. Now there's a couple features here that I haven't gone over, like the fast forward and skip. This is all for your DVD player first and foremost. After that, you can use these for channel changing. So for the radio, if you hit the fast forward or rewind, we're going to go one frequency at a time. If you hit the skip, fast forward or rewind, that's going to scan. If you hit the pause and play, that's going to do an auto preset. So that's going to go through and that's going to get the strongest channels in the area and auto preset these buttons. So whatever's the strongest is what you're going to get. Alright, there's a remote with this that does all the things I've just explained. There's also an app called IRV. That's going to take care of the remote situation. The remote situation means there's an infrared right here. Unless you're pointed right at that infrared, that remote won't work. The app will work outside, so you don't have to come back in. You don't have to turn on the radio with the remote and change the channel and things like that. You can do it right from your phone right outside. It does the zones It does the volume, it will change your stations, it'll control your DVD, and it'll also control your music playing from your phone. Next to that, we have a 5-volt charge for your phone. Auxiliary in is going to be if you have an older iPod that doesn't have Bluetooth connectivity, you can get the male-to-male headphone jack and plug right in here and play that through the radio as well. Down below, we have a cabinet here as well, a little bit of storage. Back in the back here, we have our fridge. These pull out and towards you, out and towards you. All right, so in this fridge, we have an on-off button up top. It's going to beep at you. That's a new feature for this year. We haven't had that in the past for sure. So what that beep's going to let you know is, one, it's on. It's also going to beep at you if it doesn't have gas or electric and it's struggling to keep everything cool. So up top next to that, it's going to be your switch here. This little switch, this light is on, it says auto. Auto means we're going to look for electric first. If we can't find electric, we're going to look for gas. If you can't find either, this check light is going to come on and say, hey, I need help. All right. If you just want to run it on straight gas, you can open your bottle and click that out and you'll have gas. Shelves are adjustable. And inside the fridge, on this fin, there is a white slide. So it says colder or warmer here on the inside. This slide is how you determine colder or warmer. So we're going to slide this up the fin to make this colder. Or if things are freezing, you want to slide it down a little farther to make it a little bit warmer. In here also is your tire pressure monitoring system. This vehicle is equipped from it, standard from the factory. This will tell you how your tires are pressure-wise, so you can keep an eye on them. Make sure you're not too low or too high, or we're going to worry about a blowout because you haven't properly inflated your tires. All right. On the door here, there's a piece of coax. This is for the TV. If you do want to take it outside and hang it on the outside of the camper, you can plug it in. This is the module I was telling you about for the bed. So as you'll see here, this has the oval plug that'll plug into the head of the mattress up there. And then of course the other end plugs into your 110 outlet. You have to have 110 power for this. All right, then you're going to have this module here. So this is your controller. So right now we're on 0. I'm going to turn this on and it goes all the way up to 6. So you can modulate that temperature. Below the fridge, we have your converter box and your LP detector. I'll bring the camera a little bit closer and explain those in a minute. Over here, we have a nice pantry. And in here, we have some adjustable shelves. So these shelves will come right out. And if you want to make this a wardrobe, these two top shelves, there's a hanging bar in there. You can use that for hanging up your clothes or a coat closet, whatever you want to use it for. And just below that, there's another little door for storage. The door back here, we have a screen door on it. That one is going to allow you to have the door open and have some fresh air coming through the camper. All right, we have 3 different handles here. So we've got the handle to pull the door shut. I've got the handle to pull the door open, and then we'll have the handle that unlocks the door here, separates the screen door from the actual door. So I'm going to push that out. When that's open, this slides over to keep the bugs out. And that just pins back to the door. The door, pull it shut like this, open it with the second handle, and then there's a deadbolt. The red latch is a deadbolt down here. One cool thing that this screen door has is what we call a screenshot. So this has a little return on it that will pull that door shut for you. So like a traditional screen door, it'll actually close the door. All right, below the fridge is your converter box. So in this converter box, we have all of our breakers and all of our fuses. Your main 30 is going to be up top, and they are listed as what they are going down. Same with your fuses over here. They are marked on the board over here. There are 2 40s and the rest are 15s. There's also a red light next to each fuse over here on the board. So if one of these fuses goes bad, that will light up for you. You'll know exactly which one it is. And then when this door is closed, you can actually see, once you peel this film off, right through this door. So you don't even have to open it. You'll know it fuses out. Below that, there are 2 cooling fans. Those will keep that board from overheating. Next to this, we have our LP detector and carbon monoxide detector. So what this is going to do is tell us if we ever have a gas leak or a carbon monoxide problem. this will scream at you and you need to get out of here. The other side to this is hardwired to your battery out front. So if your battery out front is going dead, this thing's going to chirp at you and it's going to say, hey, I need help. At that point, you'll probably know already that your lights in here will be kind of dim or off, or you won't be able to move your slide or anything like that. So you'll know. For your main control panel by the door, you're going to have controls here for your tanks and your battery. So these little buttons, you push them in. So the battery, we're going to hold that button. I'm plugged into shore power right now, so this thing's going to show us as full. As the battery gets weaker, this will go down. Fresh tank, black tank, gray tank. They're going to fill up as your tanks get full. Alright, so this is your water pump. That is only to be used when you're dry camping and you have to bring your own water. Don't leave that on. That will burn the pump out if there's no water in that tank. That gives you the pressure to your sink and shower. If you are hooked up to a hose at the campsite, you don't need the water pump on. Again, it will burn out the pump. That water coming in from the campsite hose is now on demand and it doesn't go into your tank. Next to that, you have your heater, gas and electric. So with this, our gas and electric is going to be individual switches here, and there's one more switch on the hot water heater outside. I'll show you that when we get out there. So gas is going to be off of your propane tanks. They need to be open. This little red light over here, this DSI fault, that means that we don't have any propane in here, so this thing can't fire up. That'll go off when you do have propane and when it fires up on gas. All right. The one next to that is your electric. Again, the switch outside needs to be turned on, and this one needs to be on in here as well. All right, we don't have tank heater, so that's blank. All right, so in here, I'm going to pull back a little bit. Our interior switch turns off most of your lights in here, and that will allow you to basically kill all the lights in one shot, other than the slide lights and the one under the sink. Turn that back on, and you can individually walk around and turn these lights off, so you don't have to have all these lights on all the time. So if you want to save some energy, you can turn some of them off. Next to that is going to be your porch light, so that's the amber light outside. Your awning light is the LED light outside under the awning, and then our Wi-Fi switch is going to be the Wi-Fi booster up on the roof. So when you're ready, this is your login system here, so your IP address, your password. What this will do first and foremost is connect you to a weak Wi-Fi signal and boost it. It also has the capabilities to get a subscription from your cell phone provider and a SIM card and make yourself a hotspot. Moving over here, we have our slide in and out, pretty straightforward. And then we have in the bathroom, starting up top, we have the Max Air fan. We have some linen storage over here. We have our medicine cabinet on the right, and then we have our shower in the middle. So that shower right here has a travel latch. So that little rubber piece has to go over the door to keep the shower from smashing together basically while you're traveling down the road. It is glass, so you don't want that banging back and forth. There's also a magnetic strip on the edge of the glass on each side, again to help keep that door closed. Alright, moving down, we have cabinet storage underneath the sink, and then we have our porcelain toilet with a foot flush. You just want to step on that foot flush to flush everything down. It does have some inlets at the top that will rinse down the bowl, which is pretty nice. We didn't have that on the older campers. And then we have at the base of the shower, we have a couple screws that'll come out, and you can have access to plumbing should you ever need to get in there. Back up top, this Max Air fan. So this is 920 cubic feet a minute, and it has a few cool features to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this black handle, we're going to open this up. Alright, so there's a black cap over the fan. There's also a Max Air cover outside over that. So you can see that there's another cover that is angled and louvered in the back, and that will keep the rain and the water out of here. So if you forget to put this cap down, it's not a big deal. Alright, when you're moving up here, you want to turn this fan on. We have the switch. Alright, 1, nice and quiet. 2, and then we have 3. 3 is going to move a lot of air through this camper and probably help you out a lot on those really hot days. You may not need the air conditioner if it's not too hot, but it will help get some of the humidity out of here. You can come back in, and it's been closed up all day. And then you can either hit this one more time, or you can hit fan off, and that'll shut it off. When you bring the cap down, they all make a little bouncing noise when they come down, like so. When it gets all the way down, if you would like, you can actually take this and push that up and lock it into place. Also in the bathroom, we have a towel ring. In the black bag with your power cord, you're going to have a set of hardware. One's going to be for toilet paper roll, one's going to be for a towel bar. You can put those wherever you want. Moving down, we have a nice little GFI outlet here. So what that's going to do for you is, obviously it's near the sink, so it's got to be a GFI. Most important part about this are going to be the resets in there. So those resets are going to be your first place to look should you ever come in here, you're plugged into 110 power or 30 amp power, and you don't have any outlets. Check that guy first. That might be the cause of your problems. So underneath the sink in the bathroom is going to be your water filter and your water pump. It's behind a little panel that has a screw that holds it in, but you can see back here everything's easily accessible. Just take this little panel down, you can get right to all of it. First things first with the awning, when you're ready to make a rain dump, we're going to pull this in and lock it into place, like so. That's going to hold it down, let the water run off the side, and then you'll be able to leave it out here. What you don't want to do is leave it up, let the water pool in the middle and have it break the awning. And you also don't want to leave this awning out in the wind because it will rip it off. When you're ready to let go, hold on to this. There's a gas shock up top. Let this go. When you put the awning in, just make sure you leave these loose so it doesn't bind. Your stairs, you want to make sure you open the door all the way up so they don't catch here. These steps are going to go up and lock into place. When you pull them out, there's also a pin right here. You can pull this out and extend or shorten these legs. On the side, we've got 2 speakers. Your range hood vent here opens up and then snap up into place. Awning light. Plate here for our TV to come outside with antenna carryover and power. Furnace vent. This is where your grill and your table go. There is LP underneath the camper to hook up that griddle to. And then we have our pass-through storage up in the front. Magnetic hold up here. We have solar plug-in here. Now that solar plug-in is only going to be good for about 20 amps. It's not going to run the camper, it's just going to trickle charge your batteries. On the back of the camper, we have prep for a backup camera. That is a usually a Furrion system. The 4 screws come off of that plate with the writing on it up there. The camera pops in with the 4 screws, plugs in. It is powered by those marker lights up there. So your running lights have to be on. And then you have a what looks like a GPS suction mount unit that goes up in your car, runs off a 12 volt, it transmits wirelessly right up to the front of that. This is going to be your fridge vent. Of course, our ladder to get up on the roof. You'll want to check your caulk up there. Anything through the sidewalls, anything through the roof, you want to just keep an eye on the caulk. Manufacturer says once a year. I always say twice a year just to be safe, spring and fall. You never want to let that caulk chip and crack and break open and get water in there. It's just catastrophic. So spare tire here, it is a steel wheel. It is not the same aluminum wheel as you have on here, but it will get you through in a pinch. And then this year they've added a 2-inch receiver hitch if you want to put a tray or a bike rack back here. So over on this side, we're going to have main hookups here, cable and satellite. We're going to have your black tank flush, so if you have a clog in your black tank or you need to rinse that hose out, you want to put the hose right up to this. Make sure your sewer hose is attached into the right receptacle. Open that black valve and flush it right out. City water is going to be that campground water. So if you're at a campground, they offer water, that's going to go right here. And then our antifreeze inlet is going to be, once you've gone in the back of the hot water heater, you've turned the hot and cold off, you open the bypass, take a little piece of hose, put it in your jug, flip your water pump on, make sure your faucets are open. Now flip the rim. Power door here, your outdoor shower. Down below we're going to have our dumps. Black back here, gray up front. This is going to be that storage behind the couch. And then up here we're going to have your hot water heater. I'm going to bring you a little bit closer so you can actually see the hot water heater and how it works and what you need to do in there. Hang on. Alright, inside your hot water heater we've got your blow off valve up top. We've got your reset valves here. Back in here is a on-off switch below that piece of paper. That is going to be your main power switch here. You're going to need that one on to run this unit. So in here's your handled rod. That is a metal rod that eats up itself to save the tank, and you will need to take that out once a year and change it. It also is the way you drain your hot water heater when you're ready to winterize. Inside the pass-through here on the off-camp side, you're going to see this panel. This panel has a couple screws in it. When you take that down, you can get to the back of the hot water heater to winterize this thing. So you're going to want to turn again the hot water off, the cold water off, and open the bypass to winterize. In this pass-through unit, you'll also see you have a bag with your cord and a couple goodies in it. You have two handles there. One crank. This crank does your manual stabilizers out here. So on each corner you have an actual stabilizer. These are not meant for lifting the trailer. They're just meant to keep the shake down when you're securing the trailer. Once you've got it leveled, you want to put those down. So when you're walking around in there, you don't feel the shake. The other handle is for your power tongue jack. So there's a little hole in the power tongue jack that you can put that crank in should it ever go down and bring that jack up. Out front here we have your battery box, your propane tanks, and your power tongue jack. That power tongue jack has a light and it has up and down, and here is the tab I told you about. Take that out and put the jack in there, the crank, and you can crank that right up. Below your propane tanks we have your master disconnect switch. This key is on right now. If we spin it around and take it out, that is off. That off position means we're not charging anything, nothing will run inside unless you're plugged into power. That also means it won't charge going down the highway behind your car. So we're going to want to put that key back in and turn it to the on position for the battery to charge off of your car or off of the shore power. Now you have two 30-pound propane tanks on this unit. They are connected. We have a regulator in the middle here. So this regulator will control which bottle you're using. We can have this bottle here, or we can spin this over. This little arrow points to the bottle we're using. You can also point it straight down and use both bottles at the same time. I don't recommend that because you will drain both bottles and be completely out. If you run one, this one empties, you can flip it over to this side and use that one.